Yo, appreciate your time and just know that I'm SK Crypto K, and today you should join my crypto club. Maybe by the end earn some dividends, so in advance I'ma thank you right now for that sub. Hey! Yo, let's go. All right, hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is SK Crypto K, and today we're doing something a little different. We are going to be hosting an AMA with our new friends over at Ooze Finance, and for everyone catching the YouTube stream, feel free to say hi in the chat and we'll be able to answer questions later. Also, we've got some voice chat participants in my Telegram group right now, which we can open up for questions later on, and have an opportunity to give away some white lists at some point. But without further ado, would anyone on the Ooze Finance side like to go ahead and introduce yourselves and what you do for the team?
Absolutely. Can you hear me okay? Am I still unmuted?
Nope, you are good.
All right, just like to check. I'm just going to keep periodically checking every 5 minutes, so bear with me. So I'm just kidding. So I'm Raphael. Good to meet everybody. And yes, this is a voice changer if it sounds kind of weird. We could ask about that later. I always like to answer that question too. But so I am a dev, one of the 4 devs for Ooze Finance. We have Mikey with us. I saw Leo popped in for a couple seconds and popped out. So I'm going to be bouncing questions over to Mikey too as they come in. Mikey's the full degen of the group, so he always has some interesting answers. But yeah, so good to meet everyone. I'm Raphael with Ooze Finance. Good to meet you, SK.
Very nice to meet you. Who was the other one? Or was that Mikey?
Hi, yes, I'm Mikey. I'm a dev also with the Ooze team. We're excited about this protocol we're building, and we're excited to tell more people about it.
Awesome. Well, we're definitely happy to have you here. Is there anyone else with the team, or is it just Mikey and Raphael?
I don't see Leo. I think Leo's popped off, so it's just the 2 of us.
Okay. All right. Well, if Leo pops in, yeah, go ahead and feel free to stop and introduce that person as well. But yeah, very cool. Pleasure to have you guys here. Thank you. This is the very first, I guess, outside away AMA that I'm hosting here. So really exciting. I've done some homework on your project, and I think that folks are going to be excited once they learn what you have going on here. So I guess Mikey or Raphael, if either of you would like to just kind of give an intro to what the project is. And then, I'll periodically either jump in with questions or I could wait till the end. We'll just kind of see how it goes. So if any of you would like to start, and we have a nice screen share here too of the light papers, so that should be a good format to follow.
Sure, and I'd like to jump in, just kind of explain at this point. So Ooze Finance, so the Ooze token basically it has components that people are familiar with already and things that people are not familiar with already in DeFi. And so we like to bring together what we think is the best of every project that we think is good in DeFi. So a lot of things you're going to hear say, this sounds similar, or sounds a little bit different. And that's the case. And I'm glad, because, I'm glad that hopefully you know some of what we're talking about today. So Ooze is a stakeable token, which you stake in our sewer contract, and that deposit is locked, and you earn a base of 1% a day passive income on that Ooze deposit. So this is starting to sound similar to some people. And so what we do differently, though, is that we're not just about a staking coin that you stake and that you just wait and hope that the price goes up, or that you just reach maturity in your wallet, so to speak. We add another dimension to our system, to DeFi. We're trying to bring DeFi to the next level of staking, and that is with our NFTs. And so with Ooze, when you stake Ooze, you buy Ooze, when you stake it, you're going to get minted an NFT. And that NFT is both the keys to unlocking your deposit, your Ooze deposit. And it is also like real estate value that you could upgrade and increase the value on. And we're going to talk more about that later, how you can increase the value on your NFT. But so there are multiple layers here, and there's something for everything in Ooze. So it's not just staking and then earning that 1% a day, which you could do. Anyone could just stake, earn that 1% a day, reach your max payout in your wallet. You could grow wealth that way. But now you have another layer here where you could actually stake your one Ooze or 100 Ooze, and then you could turn around and sell that stake, the whole thing, for whatever someone is willing to purchase it for. And this also adds sustainability to the contract. We'll talk about that later too. So it opens up a whole different realm. We're going to do lending later on with that too. So there are a whole bunch of different things we're going to do that. But at the base, the Ooze token is basically a token like, you've known before. We have sustainability levels, like there's a 10% tax across the board on everything, including compounding, which, by the way, I'm not sure that one is not standard. I know there's 5% compounding rates on other systems, but so you stake your Ooze, you get 1% a day, a minimum 1% a day. And we're going to talk about that too, because you could actually upgrade that daily interest that you get. So you generate interest on that locked deposit at a minimum of 1% a day. You have the option every day to take that, compound it back into your deposits, or you could just withdraw it out and have it as cash. And you'll get taxed when you withdraw, you get taxed when you actually sell it. So there's a 10% tax across the board for sustainability. And it's a little bit different in Ooze, so we limit the amount that you can take out as far as max payout. Your max payout is a minimum, and here's that word again, I'm going to talk about, a base of 8 times what you deposit. When I say what you deposit, is the money that you actually put in as a deposit, not what you compounded. When you compound your deposit, you're able to compound what you've deposited up to a minimum of 8 times, and then you're able to withdraw 365% of that. So those are their numbers. So at the base, you're able to grow your Ooze stake to 29 times what you put in. Those are very similar numbers. People understand those kind of metrics. But there's another layer on top of that, which is we allow you to upgrade your NFT, your stake, your deposit. You could deposit into the system Liquidity, which is going to be Ooze and USDC. We're pairing with USDC, and on the Fantom network, it's pretty common to use USDC. It's a pretty common token. So when you do that, we give you what's called the slime token, and you're able to use that slime as XP. We call XP extra potential, and you're able to take that XP and put it in one of 3 stats. And I believe I have a slide on XP to make my life easier. There are one of 3 slots that you could put your XP, locate your XP in. It's strength, speed, and stealth. If you increase the speed, which is one of my favorite ones because I'm a very impatient person, you change your daily ROI, your daily interest that you earn on your deposit, up to a max of 2% daily. Or if you want more than just 8 times your deposit that you put in, you could increase that to a max of 12 times max payout that you can get on your wallet by allocating your XP. And of course, we have tax breaks. And I should mention at this point, there are tax breaks if you're close to the system wallet. If you do another kind of deposit, I'm going to talk about that in a second, with another partner system we call the biopunks, you get a tax break, because remember, there are 10% tax across the board. When you compound, there's also a 10% tax. You can get a tax break up to 7.5% of that 10%, which is almost like a complete tax break by filling up this stealth stat. So when you're doing this, when you're allocating your slime, when you're purchasing slime, allocating your XP, you're increasing the value of your NFT because you're increasing some of the stats. So remember, everything we talk about here that we do in Ooze, when you put in Liquidity, when you do all this stuff, your NFT, it's like adding a kitchen, into your digital house. That thing is more valuable than that if you wanted to sell it. And you don't have to sell it. You can keep using it every day. So what's a little bit different about Ooze, we have 2 different ways that you could go when you stake and you deposit in Ooze. So for people like Mikey, and Mikey could talk about this if he wants, we had this conversation when we started. Mikey said that I don't like team building. I like a lot of these projects that have this 1%, 2% daily interest, but I'm not a team builder. I'm never going to team build. In fact, I don't even want to come back every day, and I don't want to compound my interest. So we thought we came up with Auto Ooze. So that is basically you deposit in Auto Ooze, you set the strategy, and we'll compound for you. Or we'll compound one day and then withdraw another day, and we'll take care of the gas for you. That's your set it and forget it. You get the benefits, but you won't be able to team build with this. You still get to use XP. You still get minted in NFT, but we just take care of all that nitty-gritty stuff for you, and you just come and you collect your rewards when you're ready and allocate your XP when you want to.
Interesting.
Now,
okay.
let's...
So real quick, when it goes to the auto compounding, did you say that there's parameters that the user's actually setting, and then you guys are paying the gas, and you can choose when it compounds, how often, and then also when it chooses to claim on your behalf without you looking at it?
Yes. So,
cool.
So yeah, that is true, and it's not going to be. We can't please everybody. It's not going to be exactly the strategy you want. It's not like you're going to be able to program a strategy. We'll have preset strategies, but the preset strategies that you could choose from, we believe, will cover all bases. So essentially, yes. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. That was a lot of information. So let's rewind just a little bit. So okay, so this is an ROI Dapp, and then correct me if I'm wrong here. So it's an ROI Dapp like we are familiar with, from last year's Flow, Drip, recently Piston, things of that nature. And instead of so you're gonna buy a token called Ooze, okay? And rather than just put it onto a dashboard, you're actually depositing it instead into an NFT that gets minted, and that essentially is your dashboard. However, it sounds like the NFT is tradable as well. So one day, let's say you choose Order of the so there's two areas you can go into: Order of the Slime for team building, like we're used to, and then the Biopunks, which is your auto compounding kind of solo play. Whichever NFT side you choose, eventually you can trade off that NFT. So for example, if I'm a team builder and I don't know, Cryptomania and DigiGiro and my chat right here are pissing me off, I can just sell them.
Yes, I mean essentially yes. I mean we didn't we didn't think of people getting angry and selling off their team. We think of it more as, when you build a team, you add value to your NFT, and we see people flipping NFTs, making an NFT, growing a small team, and then selling that for much more than the amount that they put in. So I mean, it just adds, so much, like a different layer to being able to do this. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Wow, that's really interesting. So yeah, I'm looking at you, team members. Don't make me sell you. But okay, no, very cool. Well, and then another tidbit though that you threw in there is that this is going to be on the Fantom network. So explain maybe a little bit why you guys chose Fantom, the ease of use of maybe getting over to Fantom. Can you use? I'm personally not on it yet, so I don't know if Elk Finance or something easy can get our funds over there. But yeah, maybe a little bit into Fantom.
Yes. So Mikey and I love the Fantom network. We've always been, huge fans of the Fantom network. And so when we did this project, and I like telling stories, by the way, stop me if I'm telling too many stories. When we started this project, because this is a very real thing going on. We had ongoing conversations. What network should we do this on? What's the perfect network? And we were everywhere. And, we were, it was Solana, is it Harmony? And, Mikey said, no, Solana gets hacked too much. And, this happens too much on this network. And, the Avalanche network is too expensive. And the Polygon network takes just forever and your transactions fail. And BSC is good. But so we had all of this conversation back and forth, but we consider the Fantom network, because I don't know if this is still true, but the Fantom network is an up and coming network, so that is true. But at one point the Fantom network had just as many transactions in it as the Ethereum network itself. So it's a popular network. It's an upcoming network. It's very fast. if you've ever done any transactions. I think you said you haven't done any transactions on it yet. So
Not
it's a
yet.
very fast.
Yeah.
It's fast and it's cheap. The gas is cheap. And we believe that it's going to grow tremendously in the year to come and the years to come. So this seems like definitely the perfect fit. And not to mention, the Fantom network is it's a theme network. There are a lot of Halloween themed things on the network because it's Fantom. You have Spooky Swap and you have Spirit Swap and you have all these different things that are, you have Tomb Finance, you have everything centered around, again, this Halloween theme. So we love that we could do something kind of gamified and people could have a lot of fun with it on this network. And getting things on the network, actually it's pretty simple, especially if you're on Binance Smart Chain networks or anything like that, because Zapper.fi is very simple to cross-chain swap stuff. USDC goes over very easily. Same thing with crosschain.org. And Mikey, is there anything that any central exchanges like Crypto.com doing anything yet that you know of?
Yeah, you can do it from Crypto.com also. There's Synapse, which is another bridge that's easy to bridge. And so there's a lot of ways to get your money over, but Crypto.com now does from Fantom to your MetaMask or whatever you need to get it to.
So you could see, it's very accessible. It's quick, and the gas is cheap. It's perfect for the theme. So I think this was the network for us. This is the network that I think that we'll be very happy on.
Interesting. Okay. And I also noticed another theme. I've unmuted Leo. I think that's maybe why they couldn't talk before. But I see a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle theme going on with Mikey, Raphael, Leo. We're only missing Donnie. What's going on with the that theme?
We were getting together. We talk about being in the stores and everything, and someone mentioned like, "Oh, we're the Turtles," and we just kind of ran with it. And no actual official affiliation. We're not trying to get sued here, but no, but we are fans. We love we've grown up with this kind of stuff, and some of us are a bit older, haven't necessarily grown up with it, but we like that the kind of theme it fits.
Yeah, it's really cool, and I've checked out your YouTube channel too, and it's hosted by your very own April O'Neil. I mean, y'all are really sticking to it. I love it. So, and with Ooze and the theme and the graphics, yeah, it's really cool.
Well, I want to mention that a big reason that we're also doing this is because we've been Mikey and I have been personally slammed by crypto recently, even in the past few months, the past year, a lot of things happening in crypto, and we're really trying to restore a sense of fun to DeFi, and we want Ooze to be for basically the person who loves wants to have fun, likes all this gamified stuff, and is just coming to invest. And everyone's a serious investor, and we want to treat everyone like a serious investor, whether you want to come in and enjoy the theme, or whether you want to come in and you just want to do business and make a business out of Ooze and buying and selling NFTs. We want something for everyone, but we just want to restore this. We don't like the terms that we've been hearing a lot. Dark days of DeFi are coming. These are dark days of DeFi. We don't want that. We want DeFi to be fun. So this is why we're embarking on this project, to bring something different, to evolve DeFi and to make it fun.
Yeah, no, I love it. And then Leo, are you there? Did you want to introduce yourself and what you do for the team real quick, just to interject? Leonardo with the swords.
I think Leo may be driving at the moment, so he probably can't get on right now, but he is listening.
Okay. Hey.
So
no worries.
Yeah.
No worries. Thank you. All right. Before we dive back into the project, you speak of bringing fun, to DeFi, and we all want to avoid these dark days of DeFi coming up. And what can you say in regards to investor confidence? What other groups have you networked with? What investorship are you chasing? Why should people trust this project? Is there any kind of KYC? Is there any future doxing that will happen? Anything or everything that you can say about that?
Yes. So here is where we walk a very interesting fine line. And obviously we aren't docs not because we want to do shady things. It's just because we've heard so many stories and seen so many things about devs getting death threats and, personal attacks against family. I have a family. I am a family man. And, my family is very important to me, and I couldn't conscience that. So we're all under this guise here. And yes, we are going to pursue a KYC. We are actively pursuing a KYC. We're going to be KYC'd before launch, at least one of us. And then later on in the future, we'll have more of us KYC'd. So that'll definitely be in place. We'll be KYC'd by somebody who we believe is reputable. And we're talking with this company next week and sort of finalizing this. And so, and we don't know if everyone thinks the same company is reputable. We found in this business it's kind of hard to please everybody. At this point, the contracts will be audited. We're getting the pre-sale contracts audited before launch. The actual contracts, the sewer contract, which is basically the main contract, as well as the liquidity contract, which is our swamp contract, probably will not have enough time to be audited before launch. We would love that to happen, but they are very complex contracts, so that won't happen. And we are part of, personally, we all know who each other are. No dev is outsourcing work, contract work or Dapp work, to somebody who we don't trust. We're not outsourcing work at all. We're all devs. We've all been doing this I'm the youngest dev, and I've been doing this for 20 years. So everyone is beyond me as far as how long they've been working, they've been programming, they've been doing stuff. And I feel like, and I wish people ask me, what else have the devs done? And I wish I could tell you what some of the devs in this project have been working on, because I guarantee you it's tools that either you used or people in your community have used or have been using in the past, and that they enjoy. And, and if you knew kind of the work that they've been doing behind the scenes, they've been doing some private projects in the Web3 space, in the DeFi space, some really awesome stuff that, if I talked about, they would be docs basically immediately. And, that is there. We're all part of communities ourselves, hooked in on other projects, basically doing the same thing.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of communities, though, I did realize on YouTube you guys did an interview with JC Crypto over with CryptoZoa. And, I don't know how well that went, but that is a good group, for these style projects to get involved with. Would you say that they've got your back?
Yes. Well, I did docs to JC Crypto. That did happen. I spoke to him because we wanted to get our project started. And so I reached out to JC and the other Mikey from CryptoZoa. And I asked for a platform to kick us off. And they were very gracious, but they were kind of hesitant, which I could understand why I would be too. And so we had a good heart-to-heart, and they're on board. They're looking forward to it. JC Crypto says he's looking forward to flipping NFTs. He says it's something new and fresh. So, yeah, they're in. So we're happy with that. We want to basically bring other communities in too.
Yeah, JC wants to flip teams. He wants to build a team and sell them like me. Wait, no, never mind. I'm just kidding.
I love it.
Okay, no, very cool. Very good digression we've had right there. So coming back to the project, we've got a few more viewers and listeners here. So just as a quick recap, this is an ROI Dapp, it sounds like, but instead of putting it into a dashboard that you log into every day, you're actually depositing your Ooze token. You are going to put it into an NFT, basically, and you have two paths of the NFT, and that's where we can go into right now. You talked a little bit about the biopunks already, which is on the right side of your screen, okay? And the biopunks is for your solo play. It sounds like it has nothing to do with really, team aspects, or I guess let's go into more detail. If you sign up someone and they want to just do a solo play, not babysit their account, and they set it and forget it with compound X many days, claim X many days, are you still getting rewards on the compound tax? What can you share about that?
Yes, so that's a very good question, and we consider that too. You will still get the initial deposit, and you will get 10% of that person's deposit. As for ongoing rewards, it's a question that we want to keep asking. At the moment, no, we don't believe so, because we believe, we had this conversation. How many people are going to join the biopunks? How many people are going to join the Order of Slime? And what's going to be the determining factor? So one key thing about the biopunks is that you only get 2.5% of a tax break of that 10% that you're taxed on every deposit and compound. If you don't join a team, you're going to always get that 7.5% tax unless you spend the XP to level it up. And remember, XP, when you spend, you allocate the XP into what we call the stealth stat, you're able to get bigger tax breaks with the biopunks. But the Order of Slime in the team building, now this is a different mechanic that we liked. We say that when you give kickbacks, and you can set your kickbacks for people who join your team, which is basically them getting a refund on the tax break. So if someone joins your team, you set your kickback to 5%. That person joined your team, they get 5% of their deposit kicked back to them immediately, and they will stick with that 5% number every time they compound. And so we're a bit different in this.
Hold on.
Yes,
so
yes.
The team leader gets to choose a parameter for kickback on taxes?
Yes. And so anyone who joins the team leader's team gets locked in at that rate, and that person will always get that kickback on every time that they deposit. Because every time you deposit, the person who signed you up always gets 10% of that deposit, which is also very awesome because, remember, there's that 8 times max payout, and that 8 times max payout is on your deposit amount. So the only way to actually grow your wallet more, besides, leveling it up with XP, is withdrawing from the system and redepositing. And so when that person redeposits to grow his max payout, the 10% of that is going to go to the team leader again. So you can see how that could be very rewarding and why the kickback matters.
Yes. I love it. So
That sounds a lot like what Piston has with the 5-time compound meter, where if you wanted to just do a regular compound at the push of a button, you can, but only 5x your initial deposit or fresh deposits into the system. And then when you fill that meter up, you are forced, essentially, to manually compound, where you're claiming out your daily divs, and then you redeposit them for a double tax, essentially, which not only helps the contract, but also lowers your meter so you can, compound another 5x. Is that literally the same system here, except you're doing 8x to start?
Exactly. That's exactly, yes.
Oh,
so
that's
you can see where
I love it.
we've pulled these ideas from other things that that work. We've got these in. And so something that's, we do is we try to make Ooze very rewarding. And so every time someone deposits on a team, 10% immediately goes to the person who referred them. Now, every time you compound, yes, there's a 10% tax on compounds, which does seem high. But then again, with tax breaks from, kickbacks that are set from the team leader, it might not be so, but also that 10% is split. 5% on every compound goes immediately to the team leader. So the team leader is getting every compound, the team leader is going to get rewards. Half of the tax basically that's being sent up, and the other 5% is sent up 15 levels in the round robin chain, which we're familiar with in the reward system. So everybody's getting something. It's very rewarding to team build in this. It's rewarding for the person who joins the team with the kickbacks, and it's rewarding for the people who build the teams.
That's really
so you can see
cool.
how.
Yeah. So hang on. So of the compound, you're getting taxed 10%. However, half of that 10% is always going to your immediate upline, correct? And then
Correct.
The other half is round robining up levels 2 through 15.
Levels through, yes, correct. So
Wow.
and you bring up a point, because there's a round every 15 rounds. The team leader, the person who signed you up, is going to get the full 10% on that round robin, because that person is eligible for that. So yeah, so you could see how the rewards build up really quickly. And so, and I want to talk about, can I talk about how you qualify for rewards? Could we segue to that, or do you have any questions?
No, that's really cool. I kind of like how you split up, your upline always getting something, and then interestingly, your levels 2 through 15 above you get round robin the other stuff. It kind of reminds me of another project, Refinery, where every time you compound, rewards are always hitting the immediate upline every single time. But then residual rewards are going up the chain 15. So yeah, really interesting aspects that you have here in Ooze that are borrowing, a little bit from Refinery, stuff from Piston, stuff from Drip. Yeah, this is really interesting. So continue with that. Yeah, go ahead.
So there's another layer to this, which is, for sustainability and team building. We wanted to make it so that people need to, because it's very rewarding, as you could tell, to build a team in Ooze, because you're always getting rewards all the time. So we wanted to make it so that, in order to get those rewards, you have to give back a little bit. And so we decided that instead of picking an arbitrary token or any type of amount of money that you have to have deposited to qualify for rewards for levels of your downlines, we decided that instead, well, why don't we have them deposit liquidity? And so that's what we did. In order to get rewards from your downlines, you have to have a certain amount of liquidity deposited in, and you get slime for that. Basically the same like XP. We have 2 slots where you could deposit liquidity, which is, you deposit USDC. One is to get XP, and the other one is for your team building rewards. And so it's also fair, because we don't want to price anyone out. So someone who deposits 1 Ooze only has to can deposit less in liquidity to get the same amount of rewards, levels of rewards, than someone who deposits 100. So it scales. So if you deposit 100 Ooze, you have to deposit more liquidity to get the same levels of downline rewards than if you deposit 1 Ooze. So we're trying to make it fair across the board. And so I like this, we like this particular idea, because this incentivizes people to never want to withdraw liquidity, because remember, you're going to want to grow your wallet. So the more you grow your wallet, the more liquidity you need, because if you put in more Ooze, then the amount of liquidity you need for the team building rewards grows. So you're going to constantly want to be feeding in more liquidity, and you never want to take it out. It's the same thing with XP. You never want to take out your liquidity. You never want to take out your XP, because you're earning more, your wallet's growing bigger. You want to keep that in. I mean, of course you can withdraw it at any time.
Interesting.
But we incentivize people to put in liquidity to keep the price stable. And it's the same thing with XP. The amount of liquidity you need to put in to get XP scales with the amount of Ooze that you have deposited. So if you could only afford 1 Ooze, we make it fair so that you could also afford to put in liquidity for either team building or for XP.
So,
and if you put in more, your XP bars grow, and you need to put in more liquidity to get more XP.
So a couple questions here. So it looks like, you don't have a secondary token. You're actually just encouraging people to use the native token. So it's further building liquidity. And instead of putting it into your NFT for your daily rewards, you're actually going to put it into a separate section for your downline rewards. Okay, so another similar aspect to Piston, which is actually really good. It's a fantastic idea. I even see Furios doing something similar too. So with that, right? So a team builder. So it looks like it scales, like you said, based on the initial amount of Ooze in your NFT. So if I know that I want to reach down 15 levels immediately, would I not just deposit 1 Ooze and then in the separate section just go ahead and front load everything at a cheaper rate to get 15 levels deep?
Yes, but then when you max out of your wallet and you deposit, and then you withdraw, and then you redeposit again, because you want to have that larger max payout, you're going to need to put in more liquidity. So you're not locked at that rate. So it still scales. So if you put in more Ooze, you're going to have to put in more liquidity. So you'll have to do the same. Does that make sense?
Gotcha. So if you do it all up front, you're just going to have to pay it back in a different manner, right? It all balances some way or another.
Yes, and the idea is, you have a good point. You make a strategy. How much are you gonna put in one ooze and then put in more for team building, or are you gonna put in more for ooze and less in team building? So you get to have all of these different ways of doing stuff, and there's not just one path with ooze. And one thing that's great about this liquidity is also tied to your NFT, same like your team, same like your XP. Everything is tied to your NFT. So when you're putting in liquidity, you're also increasing the value of your NFT. And you're putting in a kitchen, you're putting in a bathroom, you're doing all this stuff for your digital real estate, making your NFT worth a lot more if you were to go to sell it or borrow against it.
Interesting. Okay, very cool. So just a brief recap for some of the new folks. When you deposit your ooze and you get an NFT, if you choose Biopunks, you can do a solo route for auto compounding and claiming based on a set parameter that you choose. Or separately, the other NFT path you go down is to actually join the, I think it's called Order of the Slime. And if you go that route, then it's your typical model that you're already familiar with. You are a team leader, people that go up underneath you, they compound, you get rewards. To get deeper down, you need to buy more ooze and put it into the team building aspect of the NFT to unlock 15 levels down deep. Now, the next area I'd really like to focus on, and I think this is what really caught my attention. So you've alluded to it already, but it's this thing called XP, all right? And when it comes to XP, each of your NFTs, whether you're Biopunk or you are Order of the Slime, you have 3 attributes on your NFT that you can level up with quote unquote slime for your XP. And when you level up these different attributes, you change 3 parameters, and it's shown on your screen right now. The first one being strength. Okay, so right now we already know that they have a piston like mechanic with a 5x compound, except it's an 8x to boot. And if you want to increase your 8x up to 12x, for regular compounding, you can throw some XP over here. And when you get to 12x, that means you can regularly compound for 12x your deposit. And then you have to go to a manual compound model, which is to claim out and then redeposit to double tax to help the liquidity and also grow your account for another 12x. So that's really cool. And then it looks like you have speed, which is a variable rate. Instead of the baseline 1%, you can then level that attribute up and get up to 2% daily. I guess before we go to the next one, when it comes to speed, right? As you add XP to it, are you getting the percentages in between 1 and 2? Like, are you getting 1.3, 1.5, things of that nature?
Yes, you are.
Oh shit. Okay, that's awesome. And then, wow. In addition to that, so go into how do you earn XP? Because it looks like you have a model where good behavior is rewarded by giving you XP to level up your stuff, or you could just bypass that and also just deposit slime. Like, you can buy ooze and put it into your attributes. How do you get XP?
Yes. So before I mention that, I just want to do a little bit of a clarification. I probably misspoke. So when you're depositing to get your downline rewards, it's so you're not depositing more ooze. You're actually depositing USDC, which gets made or turned into a liquidity pair.
Oh,
so
right, cool.
That's how it works. So yes, so we had this conversation. Here's another story. We talked about how we're different. Mikey and I, we play games on the phone or whatever it is, and so there are a lot of games that you can play where you could buy like in-game stuff, in-game achievements, quickly with like $3. You can get like character mods or whatever it is, or clothing or whatever it is, or you could work really hard in the game and spend a week and get the same perks without having to spend the $3. And there are 2 types of people, right? There's one type of person who wants to work for it and doesn't want to spend the money. There's another type of person who says, I'll just spend the $3 and I'll save, the 1 week of my life and do this. So this is why in Ooze, you have 2 ways to earn XP. And it's both and. So one way is you could do positive actions in the system that promote sustainability. And everything goes back to sustainability because, Ooze is going to be around. And so we want to ensure that happens. So when you airdrop, when you compound, when you compound more than you're withdrawing, or when you team build, because, you're bringing people on the system. So you're getting rewarded by bringing people on, but we're also going to reward you with XP for team building. So all that stuff increases your XP. And so let's say you want XP immediately, you could always just deposit, your USDC, create your slime, and then deposit that XP immediately. So there's something for everybody, and it's both and. You could do both, and you could earn XP. And one thing to note is that there's going to be strategy when it comes to this, because you will not be able to fill all 3 bars. You will only be able to fill at most 1 bar.
Whoa, wait, I can't have like a super NFT with all 3 maxed out?
No. So we want people to have to think about, how they're going to actually build their NFT and allocate their XP. And so you won't be able to do max all bars. There will be a cap to how much XP you could have, and you will have to pick and choose.
Wow. So if you so with this cap you mentioned, are you feasibly able to max out 2 out of the 3? And then if so, how much of the third can you fill up before that max?
Yes. So this is an ongoing conversation. We're not 100%. We still have a little bit of time to figure this out and really nail this out. So Donnie, who is our absolute math whiz, is really trying to balance this. And I keep bringing this back to a game like StarCraft, where Blizzard took 10 years to figure out how this balance works. We don't think we're going to get it right outside of the gate, right out of the gate, but we might have to tweak this ongoing to make sure that everything stays good and fair. But those will come out in the white paper. You'll be able to read exactly how much you can max out and how the XP will perform.
Interesting, very interesting. Yeah, I'll be interested to see what those details come out as. Yeah, really cool. So folks that are listening or watching right now, this is one of the innovations I think of this. So not only does it take your familiar ROI Dapp model, but it actually lets you choose how you want to level up your different attributes. Do you want to go for the tax break, which it looks like we'll talk about in a second? Do you want to go for the 2% daily? Or do you want to get up to a 12x on your initial deposit before you're forced to manually compound to get another 12x on your deposit? Up to a maximum, what's the ultimate maximum amount of ooze?
50,000.
50,000. Okay. All right. Very cool. So go into more detail about this stealth attribute and how the tax breaks go, and maybe give an example of someone that has, 100 ooze and they're about to either deposit it or compound it. What is that tax break doing?
Yeah, so the tax break is it's the most important for people who are the biopunks. Because remember, you're a biopunk. You're not getting a prearranged kickback from anyone who is, who has referred you. So what's happening is you're automatically only going to get 25% of a tax break on every time. So you could, if you deposit $100, what's going to happen is you're going to have you're only going to have $90 actually in the system, because 10% is taken out immediately, but you're going to get back $2.5 dollars of those $10 that are taken from you. So the way to change that is the stealth ability. You can get up to 75% of a tax break by leveling up this stealth. So every time you compound, you get 75% of that. So you're only getting taxed 2.5% versus the 10%. So that's a pretty good savings, and that savings builds up. This also comes in when you're next to the dev wallet, because if you sign up under the dev wallet, what happens is that there's no prearranged agreement with the dev wallet. The dev wallet's not going to give you any tax breaks. You earn those tax breaks with XP. And so that's how the stealth attribute works. It's mostly for biopunks and people who are signed up under the dev wallet. And this is kind of what makes basically the kickbacks and the arrangement with the kickbacks with team building very valuable, because you're saying to somebody, you could join under the biopunks and you could have a set it and forget it, but you're going to have to work to build up XP to get the same amount of tax breaks that I'm going to give you for free just by joining my team. And yes, you could do that, but you should rather be using that XP. You should rather be allocating it into your speed, where you could build up quicker, or you could rather be putting it in your strength. So there's a bit of negotiation here. You can see why it's valuable for people who are in biopunks or next to the dev wallet, but there's some real ongoing conversations with people that you're referring to, like, listen, I could help you, with kickbacks. Does that make sense?
Yeah, very interesting. So these attributes are really cool, because not only are there 3 that you can level up to change how your NFT is behaving versus these other ROI Dabs we know about, but it also gives a level of not every NFT is going to be the same. So when you go to trade these, like say you make a biopunk solo play NFT that you want to, I don't know, maybe reward to your community, you can say, hey, look, I've got this one that has these 2 attributes maxed out. And it just really changes how customizable these NFTs are, and how none of them are going to be the exact same for the most part. So pretty cool.
Yeah, and that's true. And even for fun, we're doing stuff like we're adding so no 2 NFTs are actually going to be the same. We're going to have uniqueness across the board, and also we're going to throw in rarity just for fun. Someone asked, does this change the
Rarity.
value of the? Yeah, people.
Yeah, it will have rarity.
So like you're saying, if I mint an NFT and just like with a random number generator system in the background, I might get like a gold border NFT, or like what kind of attributes are you guys thinking about?
Yes, so those are still in the works. But yes, we're going to have, you might get a gold border, you might get something, that's a really good idea. I see Leo in the chat said
Yeah,
yes.
there'll be weapons. There'll be weapons on some of them. On some of them, the eyes will be different. The colors, the backgrounds, the costumes, badges. It will have rarity. It will be almost all of them will be unique, and so it'll have much rarity there.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, that'll be really interesting to see, because that could, like, even just aesthetically, that can make something more valuable too. Like if, I don't know, 3% of the entire NFT pool gives you like a platinum diamond looking border, that automatically makes it more valuable. So very interesting.
Yeah, so you can see how this NFT thing I think is really exciting, because I don't know if we've seen quite this thing where you could really back an NFT with value, or have a second layer to your deposit. So it's also, I also think it's a lot of fun. Think about the marketplace, which is going to come. We're going to do in version 2, where we're going to give you basically the stats and give you an informed buy on looking at NFT, and the market's going to dictate what that actual NFT value is. We're not going to say how much we think it is. People are going to buy NFTs. You could theoretically put 100 ooze in and maybe sell it for 1,000 ooze the next week. So it really is up to the market. And every NFT sale, there's a 5% royalty, and that 5% royalty goes right back into the contract to promote sustainability. And that 5% royalty is great, because that 5% royalty is fresh capital. Because you're selling the NFT, there's a buyer on the other end. That buyer is putting up fresh capital. 5% of that's gonna go back to the contract. It's not like when you sell ooze, you're the pressure of the coin, the price goes down because you're selling ooze, and there's more ooze and less USDC. It's not like that. There's always a buyer buying the NFT, and that capital is going to go right back into the contract.
Very interesting. Okay. Yeah, cool. So with the NFTs also, say for instance, someone maxes out, their NFT, they're a team leader, they hit the 50,000 ultimate max ooze payout. What then can they do with that NFT if it's pretty much worthless, right? Because it's already capped, or does it morph into something different or valuable in a way?
So this is an ongoing conversation that we haven't exactly settled on, and we're honestly talking about this because we don't. At the same time, we want to make sure the system's sustainable, and we don't want to break everything just because we don't want to extend the life of NFTs. But at the same time, we don't like the idea of NFTs just expiring. So the question is so the answer to your question is right now, yes, the NFT wouldn't be worth much because you're not going to get anything out of it. But in the future, we don't know if that's going to be the case. We do want to keep the NFTs having some kind of value, so that is an ongoing conversation.
Very interesting. Okay, cool. So if I'm not mistaken, I think we've covered most of this, the light paper right here, unless there's anything else you want to touch on before we open up for questions and giving whitelist opportunities for people.
Really, the only other thing is the sustainability. You have your regular whale tax, which is in there, and you saw before you have the regular 10% tax across the board. And I mean, as far as sustainability goes, we have in-build the liquidity system that we have, which is required for XP if you want to buy XP, or it's also if you want to do the team building, and it's also based on your ooze deposit. So the more ooze you have, the more liquidity you have to put in order to get those same rewards or that same XP. So we're trying to do a whole encompassing system, where everything is kind of like a one-stop shop. Your NFTs you can buy and sell on ooze. The liquidity, the need for liquidity, to have liquidity, and that's also on ooze. So and there are other little things like, when you do put in liquidity, you are taxed on your liquidity, 10% in, 10% out. And we also give emissions on liquidity, because 5% of that tax becomes locked liquidity. The other 5% goes towards emissions. So you can actually grow your slime deposit if you wanted to compound that and actually grow it kind of organically that way. So there are a whole bunch of different layers. We try to make this fun and fair for everyone while keeping it incredibly sustainable.
Wow. Okay. Very cool. Very cool. So I guess for the next segment, while we wrap up for the next, 10-15 minutes, we will open this up to anyone who wants to type in a question, whether in Telegram, YouTube, or voice chat. And I will keep note of who's asking good questions, who's participating, and I will follow up if they get a whitelist or not. But so as a brief recap, from what I understand, you are buying the Ooze token. Sounds like pre-sale is going to happen first sometime middle of this month, and then by the end of the month, correct? Are you going to go public?
Yes, so that's the idea. Middle of this month, and the pre-sale is going to be a 48-hour window. So when you're given a pre-sale whitelist, you are given a guaranteed spot. You do not have to worry about having to sit by the computer and someone might take your spot. No, that's not going to happen. You are given a guaranteed spot for the pre-sale. You have 48 hours to put your investment in. The max investment you could have for that wallet is $1,000. The minimum is going to be about $100. And so, and after that pre-sale is going to be a public pre-sale. That public pre-sale is going to be a first come, first serve. Unfortunately, we can't do guaranteed. And then, so about a week after that will be the launch.
Very nice. Very nice. Okay. No, very exciting timeline there too. So by the end of the month, we could have another ROI Dapp on our hands. There are a lot of these out here. I'm not going to lie, but
yes.
A lot of them are trash, and I'm just going to be honest. And what I see here with what you guys have shared and the research I've done, I'm actually very bullish. This is one of, I told myself like a couple weeks back I would not get into another one of these things, and yeah, I'm gonna break that promise. So I'm getting in. This is gonna be pretty cool. This will be my first foray into the Fantom network as well, and it sounds like you'll have plenty of tools to help us get over from Binance Smart Chain over to Fantom pretty easily. So before we open up for questions, guys, just understand, so this is an ROI Dapp. You're putting it into an NFT, which you have two NFT branches. One is the BioPunks, which is a solo play, and what you do is you can set parameters on when it compounds for you and when it claims for you, and it's more of just set it and forget it, which is really cool. And then secondly, you have the Order of the Slime branch of your NFTs, that when you deposit your ooze, it is a very similar system to what you already know with Drip and Piston and Refinery. So that's going to be the team building aspect of it. And yeah, that sounds really cool. And you can do some combination of both from the sounds of it. You can start a team, and then you can set up a second wallet that you never have to babysit. If you set that second wallet up as a biopunk underneath your wallet, and you can just let that grow on its own and check back with it whenever you'd like. I think that's really cool. It gives you different avenues to play this game. And then to wrap up with what I understand, there's very sustainable metrics in regards to unlocking your downline referrals by using the native token, which helps the liquidity. You got your whale taxes to boot, which is the same as all the others, so that's good to see. And it also looks like you have 3 different attributes on each of your NFTs to customize them on how fast you want to grow daily, how often you need to manually compound, and then lastly, what kind of tax breaks you want to receive whenever you are compounding to a team leader or a dev wallet above you. Rather than 10% go up, you can actually get up to 75% of your 10% back, which is really cool. So I think that's a pretty good little breakdown. I hope everyone understands. We will go ahead and open up for questions. I see some people already raising their hands. And again, folks, this is there are whitelist opportunities here. And if you're interested, please participate and show some love to the Ooze team. So first up, I think we're going to go with my good friend, Chris. Chris, what's up, brother?
How are y'all doing tonight?
Good.
So you had DC open and jumped in here to listen to this. Interesting take on the ROI Dapp.
Thank you.
I have sort of one question to make sure that I'm asking the right question. So you've got, if I heard it right, you've got part of the rewards that are going up the line to 15 levels, and then you have another part of the rewards that are going round robin.
So it's 10% every time you deposit is going to go directly up to the person who referred you. So basically,
Right.
your upline, that's all on deposit. So on the compound, like you're talking about, that's going to be split. 5% of that is going to go to the immediate upline every time, and the other one goes to the round robin. So one goes to the immediate every time. So the person who referred you is always rewarded every time you deposit and compound. But only on the compound, the other 5% goes up the 15 levels to the round robin. So that's the 15 levels we're talking about. That's the round
Right.
robin.
Okay. So the half of it's just going up to the direct, and then the round robin is what goes up to 15 levels.
Exactly.
Okay. Then I don't need to ask my second question. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Nice. Really good question, Chris. I'll follow up with you later, brother. Looking through the YouTube chat, looks like we have someone named Nikhil Batra. They ask, what does success look like to you guys? What are you aiming for in terms of maybe social media following or total value locked in the system? When would you be happy?
Right. This is a Mikey question. Mikey, what do you got?
I think we'll be happy when we're returning investment to our investors. I think that would bring us happiness. I think a lot of other, and I don't want to flood any other protocols, any other DApps, but sometimes they focus too much on themselves and the total value locked and these other things. But I think we want to bring value to our investors. And I think those things will come, total value locked. All these other things will come after that, after we bring value. And that's what we're trying to push. We want to make DeFi fun again. We want to change the space. We want to lighten the mood in crypto. Right now it's heavy. You look at the charts, you're seeing red everywhere. We want to bring happiness. We want to bring returns to our investors, and that's really our focus. So that would be success to us. Success to us would be having the coin, stable, bringing constant investment, returns to our investors, and I think that will be a level of success for us.
Oh, yeah. Shots fired. I read between the lines. I heard you.
Hey, calm down.
Yeah, as Leo says, if our investors are doing well, then so are we. So that's our focus.
I like it. Really good question. Thank you over on YouTube. And then, another thing to read between the lines there too, guys, they are paired with USDC, and you already see on a project called Piston what that's doing as far as, the market's bleeding, yet that chart keeps going up. So being paired to a stable coin, I think for you guys is a really fantastic idea. Kudos. I think that's going to do wonders. So really, really good. It also looks like over on YouTube, shout out to Gosu TV. This is a Korean live streamer on YouTube, and he actually wants an AMA set up with you guys immediately. And
Oh, wow.
so I'll connect you guys. That's a really good friend. I've known him for about a year now. And so, yeah, we'll get you over to his community as well. They love these style projects. So, oh, Gosu actually asks, what other previous projects have you guys maybe worked on?
Yes, and this is a good question. And so here's the truth of it. We're very transparent about how this is. We haven't done any major DeFi projects in this space yet, and there's an asterisk with that when I say this. And I did mention before that a number of us on this project are doing things in the DeFi space. They have tools developed that, you know, I mentioned that either you guys are using or your team is using, or you know somebody who's using this every day. So they are, you know, we're very familiar with the DeFi space. We've been, you know, working in contracts or reading contracts, you know, doing reviews on contracts. We've been writing tools for contracts, and some of us have been working on secret projects, which we unfortunately can't discuss, but basically having to do with security. For the DeFi space. So we've been around the block, but unfortunately there's no project we can point our finger in and say, this is us, because then what would happen is then you would say, well, you're so-and-so. And that would kind of defeat the whole purpose. So unfortunately, that's the best answer I can give in that realm.
Okay, no, very good. Thank you for sharing that. Let me jump over and show some love to Telegram. So let's see, we've got, you know, I've never said this name out loud, but, you know, sorry if I butcher it, but Fatty, hey, Fatty, I'm talking to you. They ask, what happens if the team leader decided not to do a setback to the downlines, as a sense the platform tends to incentivize the upliners more? Wait, to those that can't refer, how can such investors maximize the potential of the platform?
Right, so is the question basically what is the incentive to join if you're not going to build a team, or is it
I think it's two questions. Yeah, if you want to answer that one first while I try to make sense of the first one again.
Okay, sure. So what incentive is there if you don't refer someone? So you're still going to be minting an NFT, right? You're still going to be able to build XP to get up to 2% a day, or get 12 times your max payout plus 365%. You know, you're still going to be able to buy and sell your NFT on the marketplace if you want. You know, you're still going to be able to put in liquidity and, you know, increase the value of your NFT. So you'll still be able to do everything in the system, except you just won't do the team building aspect. And I mean, even if you're like Mikey, and Mikey will tell you himself that he doesn't even care about how rewarding it is to build downlines and build a team. He just wants the system to basically give him his return on his investment, come back and collect it and have money in his pocket. That's all he wants to do. So the benefit is you still have benefits. You still could do everything. It's just you don't do team building, and you could still buy, you could still, you know, deposit Ooze, and you could still flip NFTs if you want to. So all of that is still there.
Okay, no, very good. Hopefully, Fatty, that answers your question. And then trying to make sense of the first one, what happens if the team leader decided not to do a setback? I think that refers to that tax, right? You know, that you set for the downlines. It sounds like the platform is incentivizing upliners more than downliners by having that option.
Yes, I mean, so you could, I suppose, so what happens if they don't want to set their kickback? So the kickback could only be set between right now 2.5 and 7.5% max. And so they can't go lower than that. So at the very least, you know, you won't, you'll still get a 2.5% kickback, no problem. But they also can't switch it up on you. So if you do join with somebody and, you know, they have their kickback set at 5%, they can't get angry at you and change it to lower. You know, if you have a fight or a falling out, that is locked forever for you. So, you know, it's still, you still get that rate all the time. I hope that
Gotcha.
answers that question.
I think it does. And then also, if I set whatever setback I set, does that go to anyone who signs up with me from then on? Like, I can't change it for, oh yeah, I got 10 people and they're all at this percentage, and then the next 10 people I'm going to change my setback.
You can change it. Yes, you'll be able to change it for the people going forward. So let's say you want your cousin on, you want your cousin to have the full amount. You change it, your cousin comes on and change it back to what it was, and your cousin's the only one who's on that higher amount. It's however you want to do it.
Gotcha. Okay, no, very good. Digi says, don't sell your team SK. Nah, man, I'll do what I want. Fuma asks, are there any anti-bot measures at launch, on the launch?
I love this question because I love answering it. Yes, and the answer always is what. And so, yes, so we can't exactly say what we're going to do, because if we do say what we're going to do, people are going to program for it, and then we're going to hose everybody, and it's not going to be fun in that regard. However, I can say this we can make public. We are sort of de-incentivizing people from dumping as soon as Ooze goes live. We are doing a 50% tax at launch on cells for Ooze.
Ooh,
and that
damn,
that
how long?
50%, yes, it's going to decay after 8 days. So we want to incentivize people, and the thing is that we don't want people we don't want to de-incentivize people from buying, because people, that's DeFi. You want to buy a coin, you want to sell a coin, you want to make a profit. That's totally fine. But we also want to incentivize people to deposit in the system and not just pump up the price so they can get the most of it and dump on the investors so people lose their investment. And so we will have that 50% tax. It'll decay after 8 days, and it will go to the regular 10% after the 8 days. It'll go slowly, to the 10%. So it'll be less and less every day.
Okay. No. Very cool. Just to wrap up, I think I can answer a couple questions here. Some people ask, can you change teams at all? I think the answer is no. Correct?
Yes, sir. Yes,
okay.
no. You can't
all
change
right.
teams.
Good. Gosu asks, how about security? It seems like many things lately have been happening in crypto with exploits. So for this protocol, do you plan to have third-party audits, and how confident are you in the contract?
Yes. So we are very confident, because we are not going to release if we're not confident. I promise you that. If the project does get delayed, which we don't think it will be, but if the project does get delayed, we'll be very forthcoming in saying that we are not confident. And so when the project is released, we are confident. We are not going to rush it, I promise you. We are going to do third-party audits, 100%, yes. Like I mentioned before, I do not believe that we'll be able to get the audits out for the main contracts in time for the launch. You can absolutely wait until the audits are done to invest if you want. Do your own research. Everything is not financial advice that comes out of our mouths, but we do want to give you the best information on all of this. And so, yes, we have audits in the works for the presale, and we're also going to do a community audit. We have trusted community members that also know contracts and also have been in this space, who we're going to actually have hammer the contract on testnet before we release too.
Mikey, did you have something to add to that?
No, I was gonna just add, we're doing community audits, so you don't have to worry. We're taking security really seriously. Again, we've been on projects that have rugged recently and have been exploited, and so we take this very, very seriously. And so we are taking precaution in terms of the pre-sale audits, and also the future audits and community audits, and have it really hammer tested for everything. And so we want to we are going to be personally invested in this, and so we want your funds to be safe and our funds also. So we are going to take this very seriously.
Oh, very good. Okay, few more questions. I know 3 people had their hand raised in the voice chat. We're going to get to you as the final voice chat questions. I did want to follow up. So Nick Hill, who asked that question about what's going to make you guys happy about the platform, he responded and said, thanks for answering that, guys. Happiness equals looking out for the investors. It shows you guys are thinking long term and not just for the percentage of your own cut. I love it. Looking out for the whitelist to get involved with this project. Bullish. So Nikhil, thank you. Okay. Wait, and then Because voice chats are always fun. Let me just ask something real quick. Was there a private sale for this, and how quickly did it sell out?
So the private sale, there's been no private sale. You're just going to see the current pre-sale. That just what we mentioned are the only sales that are going to be.
Okay, no, very good, very good. Going to the voice chat. So I think we'll maybe have 10 more minutes here. Vijay R, did you want to ask a question? I saw you had your hand raised earlier.
Yeah, hi. Hi, guys. This is VJ.
Hi.
Thank you for hosting this SK, and good questions and good conversation. Thanks to the Ooze team as well. Just a couple of points. I know SK, you said you haven't really gotten onto any Fantom project. I'm actually in at least 2 or 3, and it's a really cool chain. It's really fast. The gas fees are really low, and there's almost zero congestion. I've never experienced congestion. It's really easy to transfer Fantom from, Binance or whatever, KuCoin or whatever, to your MetaMask. And once you're there, you can use Spooky Swap to swap to USDC or whatever using your Fantom. Is really easy.
It's really good to know. Thank you. Yeah. Continue.
Wanted to assuage your fears there. On just a question about the project itself. You have this XP slide up. I'm still a little unclear on how you can actually earn XP. Could you talk about that a little bit?
Absolutely. So there are 2 ways to earn XP. The first is by putting in liquidity into the system by staking USDC. That USDC we're going to turn into USDC Ooze LPs, and so this is going to earn you XP. So this is one of the ways to do it, by basically paying for it. Basically, you're staking it. You can get it back, by the way. When you stake when you stake liquidity, you can get that liquidity back as USDC. That's no problem. The second way is every time you airdrop in the system, every time you compound in the system, and every time you team build in the system, you're earning XP also. So there are 2 ways to earn XP, and both promote sustainability. Does that make sense? Does that answer your question?
Yeah, it does. But if you're playing the Biopunk game by yourself, can you still earn XP?
Yes, because remember, the biopunks could still compound, the biopunks could still airdrop, and the biopunks could still put in liquidity to purchase XP. So yes, you absolutely can get XP with the biopunks.
Got it. And you'll have the formula for how much XP you can earn and so on in the white paper, I assume?
Yes, it's going to be very detailed. In fact, just a little personal thing. I mentioned this today in another AMA. The white paper is so extensive. I had my wife sit down and read it, and it took her 3 hours to digest everything. And so it's everything is there, I promise.
Got it. And SK, if I can ask just one more quick question. I did want to confirm that the max payout is 3.65 times that deposit amount, right? Whether it's 8x, whether you compound to 8x or 12x.
Correct.
You still get paid up to 3.65 times, correct?
Yeah, 100%. I think I can answer that. So you got the 12x. Say you level up your attribute for getting 12x, right? And if you start out with 1,000 ooze, that means that you can regularly compound up to 12,000 ooze, okay? Before you have to start manually compounding. Now, remember, the ultimate max payout is 50,000 ooze. So you can work yourself up to that. And if you just compound all the way up to 12,000 ooze and you just want to stop right there, well, 3.65 times 12,000, that will be your max payout, which still isn't quite 50,000, or is it? Wait, is it? Yeah, it is, I think. Oh.
I think it's almost not quite. It's about 42 actually, right? Something like that.
Yeah. So close. You would get that as your ultimate max payout from that point on. Yes.
Okay, got it. I understand the math. Yeah, thanks for clarifying that. And then finally, on the marketing front, how do you guys plan to, hopefully build the kind of community that Piston is building, that Drip Drip has built. Of course, Drip, has over 100,000 drippers, and it took them a year to get there.
Ooh. Look, I think I could honestly already answer that and add to this, but they've got Cryptozoa on board. Cryptozoa is like 1/5 of the freaking Drip investorship. That is huge. That is huge.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, that's great. That's good to know.
Yeah.
So right off the bat, Ooze can beat Piston, you're saying, and even some of the others like Splassive and all that, which I know you haven't.
Well, I'll say this is that we want to coexist with all these platforms. We don't want to beat anybody. We don't want to compete with anybody. We look at it like Citibank and Chase Bank. They're two banks. They have their investors, they have their customers, and people are happy where they are. And sometimes you may have money in Citibank and have money in Chase Bank, and both banks, right? And so we want investors to diversify. We don't want you to just only be in Ooze. We want you to be here, but we're not into competing with anybody. We want everyone to have fun. As we said, we want it to be a fun environment, light environment, and do your financial research and diversify your accounts. But I think you'll be happy with Ooze. So I just wanted to say that.
No, thank you, Mikey. And could I ask, from a roadmap perspective, what plans you actually have to increase utility on the Ooze token beyond just the ROI game?
Right.
Well, I think. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Mike.
Go ahead.
No, you are big on this, so go ahead.
All right. So one of the big things that we're looking at is loans, and so we want you to be able to take that NFT and be able to do a peer-to-peer loan. And say you want to say you've built up your team, and your NFT is worth let's say 100,000, right? After the rarity and everything, and you don't want to sell it. You want to just take a loan against it. Maybe you want to take a loan for 35,000. You want to buy a car. You want to put down payment on a house, right? You could do something like that where you can take a loan and we could facilitate a peer-to-peer loan later on, which I think would be huge, right? And so again, those dividends from those loans will go back into the system, which would make it more sustainable. Another thing we're looking at is an NFT marketplace, and the transactions on the NFT marketplace again will go back into the protocol. So you'll be able to trade your NFTs, the loans, and everything. All these things will help with the sustainability of our protocol. And so we're excited for these things that are coming. And so we're just telling everybody, be patient right now. But in version 2, which we're not going to do version 2 like a year from now. It'll be very short, probably quarter 3 or so. And so we're trying to really push to make it sustainability with all these different things that we have coming up.
No, that sounds very impressive. Thank you for that. And finally, what is the pre-launch price going to be for Ooze?
Yes, so the price is going to be forthcoming. We have those in spreadsheets. We are tweaking it. We want to make sure that, and this is Donnie's thing. It's a constant, I guess, conversation between Donnie, who is more conservative, and Mikey, who's a full degen. So we want to make it so that it's advantageous to be in the pre-sale, but at the same time, we don't want to make it so that if there's so much of a price difference at launch that it encourages people to dump. So you're going to see something where you have an advantage, but it's not going to be something that's going to, absolutely just make people just want to just get rid of their tokens right away. So those numbers will be coming. They will be released. We will be completely transparent about that. So look out for those on our Medium.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you all so much for your time. Appreciate it, SK.
Yeah, VJ, great
Thank you.
questions, bro. Dude, you got like whitelists up the ass coming your way. Shit, that was good. All right.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. No, thank you. Okay, wow. So, Mikey, Raphael, do y'all still have time for? It looks like 2 more questions. I know there were voice chat questions.
Shoot.
Okay.
Yeah, no problem.
All right. Awesome. So, but before I get to Team Philly, chasing financial freedom, I'm going to let you ask a question real quick before I interject real fast. What is the max allotment on a whitelist? Somebody asked.
The max. So you're how many whitelists we're gonna have in total?
No. I mean, dollar wise, what can a whitelister put in?
A whitelist you can put in a maximum of 1,000 USDC.
Okay, no, very good. Okay, chasing financial freedom. Go ahead and ask your question.
Yo, what is going on, SK? What's going on, Ooze team? Yeah, so actually, Raf already answered my question. My question was pertaining to the 50% or the sell tax, to discourage people from dumping on the market. So kind of read my mind there, but yeah, that's super bullish, and I'm excited to jump into Ooze. So
wow,
good job.
Thank you for that.
Awesome. And shout out to Chasing Financial Freedom. Please click his name and go to his YouTube channel, show him some love. I've actually made a recent connection with Chasing. He's a really cool guy. He covers these ROI Dabs. He's a big fan of Piston, Refinery, and Drip. So definitely go check out his content. Really cool, man. Thank you for being here, Chasing. Thank you.
Thank you, brother.
Yes, sir. Team Philly Trades. What's up, team? How you doing?
Yo, how's it going, SK? How's it going, guys?
Hey,
How you doing?
Hey, all right. So I just had actually had two quick questions. On the first one is as far as the team dev tokens, are you guys committing them directly right into the contract, like going into the system? A couple other projects I know of, the team is going right in, like their tokens are put right into the ROI system, so that's how they actually get paid out. And that was something that made me like really bullish on those projects. I was wondering if that's something you guys are also doing.
so is this a question where you're asking what we're going to do with the initial liquidity that we're putting in?
Yeah, like, so are you guys are going to be right in with the NFTs? Like, you're not going to have any anything where you guys can just basically dump, like, and I'm not saying you would at all. I mean, I'll be honest, I wasn't sure about this project, and just a little bit of time in here with SK's AMA, I am like really bullish on this right now. Really looking forward to this. I just had that one question about that. Like, are you guys going to be, you're going to be going right into the system? Like, there's no way for one of the devs out there, like, maybe doesn't, ends up having an issue or something, they want to leave the project, they wouldn't be able to, basically.
Right. Yes. And I appreciate the question, actually, and I wouldn't take offense if you said to me, you might take my money and run away.
Wait,
or
team,
I
think you got some feedback. Can you mute your mic? Philly Trades, can you mute your mic? There's feedback.
So yeah. So to answer your question honestly, so we don't have any dev fees. Basically, we're going to get paid by a system wallet. It's basically a dev wallet. So we're going to collect rewards from biopunks, and we're going to collect the rewards from anyone who is next to basically the dev wallet also. And those rewards are going to pool in a wallet, and we're going to get paid on those rewards emissions. We're going to get a percent a day on those emissions, and that percent is going to be variable. We're going to be able to set that percent because, I mean, obviously if there are very little rewards, it doesn't make sense for us to take only 1% of that. Or if there are a lot of rewards, maybe we want to take less than 1%. So to answer your question, yes, we are going to be paid by having a wallet in the system. It's a special wallet. It functions a little bit differently than the NFTs themselves because it's we're not going to be able to grow our deposit, 1% or 2% a day. We're just going to collect rewards, and that will be that. But with that said, we are taking a little bit out of the pre-sale for dev fees, and also for basically for marketing and all the money that we've spent up until this point to kind of reimburse us. So hopefully that answers your question.
Yeah, it does.
I just want.
Go ahead, Mikey.
I just wanted to say that we want to be as transparent as possible, and so even everything we spend, there'll be a Medium article basically outlining what we spent and what was given and everything broken down. And we just want to be as transparent as possible. We believe that, I know I've been in projects where, the devs haven't been forthcoming. And so we want to, basically kill all FUD. And so we have a YouTube channel where we have Ooze News every week. We're going to give you updates of what's going on. We have Medium articles about the breakdown of what happened with the pre-sale and what we did and what was given. And so I just want you guys to be assured that it's your money that you've entrusted to us, and we want to make sure that you feel comfortable with everything.
He said Ooze News.
Yeah, I appreciate that, guys. Yeah, I didn't want you to take that the wrong way. I really hope you didn't. It's just a matter of 3-6 months down the road. If there was an internal argument amongst devs and one of the devs wanted to just roll at some point, it was a matter of making sure that the rest of the project and the investors and the rest of the team are still safe. And you guys answered the question. I mean, I appreciate it, and it was a good answer. I like it.
And we also have multi-sig. We're also doing a multi-sig also. So,
nice.
that's another way. That's another way that we're gonna keep things safe. But us turtles, we stick together. So we don't see that foresee that happening.
Awesome. And then my other quick question was about the flash loans. I think I talked to you guys about this in the main TG a few nights ago. I didn't bring it up. I think somebody else brought it up, and then I was talking about it. But are you guys going to be building in protections against that kind of situation?
Yes, and I mean, right now it's not necessarily applicable to what we're doing, but when it comes to loans, we are going to have to prevent these flash loan attacks. So yes, absolutely, and one of the things that really helped us was, I mean, not that this is a good thing, when Elephant Money had the flash loan attack, it kind of alerted us to the same thing, that we need to be on the lookout for this particular thing as well. And so we're also keeping that in mind to answer your question.
Awesome, guys! I'm really impressed. I'm actually excited about this because it's just actually really cool. I really like the NFT game that you guys got going on. I mean, it just looks fun. So I'm looking forward to this. Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Awesome. Okay, last chance. Are there any other questions before we wrap this up? Anyone in the voice chat? Remember, you have an opportunity for a whitelist on this project on Fantom. Anybody else? Voice chat, speak up, raise your hand. Anybody? Okay, well, I think that's pretty much it. This is a fantastic hour and a half. I thank everyone for your patience and time. Wow, it really didn't even feel like an hour and a half. So, when you're having fun, time flies. So, I guess, Mikey, Raphael, if you guys have any parting words for this project, now's your time.
Yes, well, I do want to mention one thing. Thank you everybody for joining us. Thank you for your patience with us. It's been fun. It's like SK said, I didn't even feel like it was an hour and a half. You said hour and a half. It's kind of amazing to me. And I do want to say, SK, you seem very smart. You took everything I said, you digested it, and you spit it back, and you even answered some of the questions yourself. So
he's really not. He's really not. Trust me.
Yeah, you're an excellent team leader, although I guess maybe not. But yeah, I mean, thank you very much for that. I appreciate that very much. You're very thoughtful in this, and I do want to say, everyone who's listening, please keep in touch. Keep up with we have so many ways to get in touch. We have our Telegram, we have our Discord, we have our YouTube, we have our Twitter, we have our Medium. We want to keep you informed. We want to keep you abreast. We want to keep this project very transparent, like Mikey is saying. So avail yourself of all of this or any of it that you can. If you have a question, don't delay in asking. Please come in one of our mediums. Please ask questions. We do Ooze News every Monday. You know, and you can come ask questions there, or whatever it is. If there's ever something that even pops up afterwards, you know, come and ask. And if you think that there's something that needs to be pointed out, bring it up to us. That's great. You know, we want to make DeFi fun together, and we want to evolve and grow DeFi. I feel like, you know, I don't know about everyone else, you know, Mikey and I are just kind of like dragging our way through DeFi, you know, which everything is just the same. It's a fork, or it's this, or it's that. You know, we're just staking coins and pulling our money out and going to the next highest APY project. We don't want to make DeFi like that. We want DeFi to evolve, and we think that this is part of the next stage in evolution of DeFi. I'm sorry, I read someone said in the chat, this is fire.
I
so
saw that
DeFi.
too. Yeah.
But yeah, so I think that we're going to this next level here, and Ooze is going to push it there. And I think we're going to see people doing something similar in the future after, you know, we come out with it. And I think we're going to see it. We want to be on the forefront of it. We want everyone to join us in being the forefront of it. So thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. Thank you for asking really good questions, everybody. So thank you very much.
Yeah, holy crap. You know, and after that nice closing statement, and Mikey, I'm going to give it to you here in a second, but I just saw someone pop into my voice chat that is a really good friend. He is actually the one who wants to do an AMA with you next, potentially. Yudaman, I see that you've joined. I have to allow, forgive me, I have to allow him to ask a question. This guy is a really good guy.
Yes, thank you. Thanks for allowing me to speak to you, your team. I actually knew Ooze before. One of my community members got into your group, and then he sent me the white papers, and then I was reading it, and then it made me very interested. And I was thinking of, and then my community members, let's do an AMA, and then I just noticed that SK is streaming this live, and then while he's streaming, and I'm also streaming this, so my audience, like 30 people are watching actually.
Whoa!
Wow.
Is this a stream within a stream? Streamception?
Yes, stream and stream, it's a double stream. So, but but I didn't like translate word by word. I was listening and then summarizing to my audience. So definitely we gotta have an AMA soon. And then I think this time is perfect for my audience too. So I hope this time, I just lock this time sometime.
You're good.
Yeah, sometime next week or like that. So I have more questions, but I will also collect some questions from my community.
Okay,
so I
great.
will ask it later. And yeah,
I look forward to it. I look forward to connecting. Thank you for reaching out, and I'm excited. This time works. You know, I'm excited to do it with an AMA.
Yes, SK Crypto K and I. Yeah, he mentioned that we've known each other for about a year. And then also his blood, he has some Korean blood. I was born and raised in Korea. Yes, and then I'm living in the States. Anyway, so glad to see you. I hope your project succeed and as you said, evolve with the community. Good luck.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Wow. Yeah, absolutely. And you guys heard right. No, the SK in my name does not stand for Sidekick Token. I know all you people DMing me. Okay, it's not that. It stands for South Korean, because I am half. I am half. So, Yudaman, thank you again for being here. I guess Mikey, Raphael already said some amazing words about the project and this AMA tonight. You guys have been fantastic. Would you like to close us out?
Yeah, thank you for taking the time out to listen to us tonight. You know, we really want to recruit everyone to make DeFi fun again. We want to build trust, transparency, you know, into what we're doing. And again, as Raph said, you could pop into our Discord, you could pop into our Telegram. Most of the time, Donnie, Leo, Raph, or myself are there. You know, you can ask questions. We want to be as accessible and as transparent as possible. And so, you know, come in and we can't wait to show you what we're going to do We believe we're going to change the space, and we're so excited about what's in store.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Fantastic wrap up. Raphael, Mikey, Leo, I know you've been listening, driving, hopefully driving safely. Thank you all for being here and taking the time. I know this was a very fun 1.5 hours for me. And this is my very first away AMA that I'm hosting. I'm not going to say this is going to be a regular thing, but for projects that I feel are worth it, you are going to see this. So, wow, guys, thank you so much. Your project is fantastic. I will say this, guys, I also personally know Raphael. So if you guys have any doubts in the trust of this team and what they're about, just know you're in really, really good hands. So, wow, everyone, thank you for being here. Ooze looks great, and I cannot wait to get in on pre-sale and launch. So thank you again.
Thank you, everybody.
All right,
Thanks so much.
Thank you. And